I will now ask the following individuals to address the court. The Honourable Doug Downey, Attorney General for the Province of Ontario.
Thank you so much, Your Honour, and I am just absolutely thrilled to be here. Good afternoon, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to Chief Justice Tulloch and Chief Justice Morawitz and Chief Justice Nicholas, fellow speakers, colleagues, honoured and distinguished guests. And I would like to point out that I'm joined here today by, as already mentioned, Associate Attorney General Tabolo and Parliamentary Assistant to the Attorney General and Member for Hamilton Mountain, Monica Ciriello, along with professional staff within my office, many of whom have been mentioned. I think we're all shocked that Peter's allowed out of the building while he's doing CDT, but here he is, and your excellent team. Also, thrilled to see my friend Arif Varani here. Really nice to see you. And I would be remiss without starting, although I don't see him sitting here, Deputy Corbett is off solving some other problem that we have created, and he is just the best deputy in the entire system. I'm also joined by a number of members of my minister's office who are here, and I will pay a price for this, but one of the members is here for the first time. He is the individual who oversees all appointments. We oversee 800 appointments annually. He oversaw all of the appointments for the JPs and judges who sit here, who have been appointed under my term, James Nichol. So welcome, James. He knows more about you than I do. Today is not only the marking of the start of a new court year, it's about reflecting on how far we've come together and how much stronger Ontario's justice system is for working together. And I can assure you, Chief Justices, the Deputy Minister, Curtis McAuliffe, and I were furiously taking notes as we heard your points about ways that we can do better and that we can do more. And I think we're all committed to doing exactly that. I just want to acknowledge everybody who's in attendance, because this isn't just those of us who are speaking. This is all of you in the practicing bar and in the agencies and everybody who is working together to make our system better. One of the key pillars of our plan, and you've heard some about it, is the court's digital transformation. So I would be remiss about not touching on this, but you've heard some really good content from Chief Justice Morawitz. It's something that we're both very passionate about. And when I think about this historic initiative, I can't think back to a time, when I was a court clerk and a court registrar, because I was a counter clerk and then I was a court registrar, and then I went to law school. And I think about all of the paper that I had to go find that fell behind cabinets. I cannot imagine that we would be here today. This really is a historic transformation. And, it just slowed everything down. And when I was a court clerk, you couldn't pay for a filing over the counter with a credit card. You had to have a check and from the law firm and all. And when I became the Attorney General, you still couldn't. So progress is possible. We have a demonstrated track record in small and large. And that is why the digital transformation has been one of our defining priorities. Modern technology is now a permanent fixture in Ontario courts. And I'm proud to share that the Ontario Courts Public Portal will launch its first phase in Toronto in the coming weeks, as mentioned, giving people the single online platform to file documents, pay fees, access hearings, and more. And as you heard, it includes the Superior Court of Justice Family, Civil, Small Claims, Bankruptcy, Divisional Court and Enforcement Matters, and Ontario Court of Justice Family Matters. That's a lot of things to start with. And it may not be entirely smooth, but we are going to get it right and we are going to get it done. It's a significant milestone in our recent expansion of virtual methods in administering justice. It truly is a breakthrough moment. It is justice at your fingertips. And we couldn't have done it without the ongoing collaboration of both the Ontario Court of Justice and the Superior Court of Justice and the excellence in MAG, many of whom are here. We did talk about it 4 years ago, and I just had to go find $170 million to start the project. And in all honesty, without the backing of the Premier and Minister Bethlenfalvy and Minister Mulrooney and our team, that would not have been possible. But they saw the wisdom in it, they had the confidence in the courts, and they saw the relationship that we were able to work together, and that is how the investment happened. So I just want to take an opportunity to thank you and the project teams, your project teams and our project teams, for taking the time and the energy and the collaboration. Of course, Peter, you and your team, not to increase the pressure, but we know you will get it right. We're going to continue to harness and look for new technologies. We're going to make it easier for people to access justice, because that's what people expect. The people of Ontario expect that. But modernization doesn't stop at technology. Often change requires bold action. It's exactly what we're doing across the system. You've heard a lot of it here. Just to give you a sense of the magnitude of the effort, by 27-28, which is not that far away, Ontario will have invested $500 million to address backlogs, help build a more sustainable justice system, and strengthen public safety. This includes the hiring of up to 52 new judges, but that's not just the magic, because with every judge that we hire 7 staff, Crown prosecutors, victim service workers, court clerks, and so we are expanding 700 full-time staff in our system to support the work of the judiciary and the public. It's this capacity building that we've not seen in decades, if ever, and it's part of our government's plan to reduce pending cases, ensure sustainability of the courts for the future, and to protect Ontario communities. And earlier this year, our government passed the Protect Ontario Through Safer Streets and Stronger Communities Act. We like to name things. A significant piece of legislation that includes critical changes to the Courts of Justice Act, changes that will help speed up the appointments of judges to the Ontario Court of Justice. It's part of our plan to speed up that appointment process. We'll be shifting to a pool-based, but with the critical interviews that need to happen. And again, like the previous system, if you apply and you're not successful, I don't even know that you applied. That veil is still there and it needs to be there. But it will allow us, if we do a call for judges in London to review all the applications, the committee will give me recommendations. If we see somebody who's willing to serve in Windsor, but they didn't make it through in London, we don't have to go back and do a 9-month process. We can simply pick them out of the pool and get them on the bench. And I think that kind of speed is going to help us all. The Judicial Appointments Advisory Committee will also be required to use criteria if I give them any. And if I do give them any, it will be public. It will be published so that there's complete transparency. And I think taking away the black box of how to become a judge is an important piece of what we need to do, because we want to encourage the best. And we want to encourage people who may or may not feel that they're really possibly going to make it through the system. We want to give them the confidence that here's how it is, here's what we're looking for, and put your best foot forward. And we want you on the bench. We want our province served by the best capable judges. Now, our government will continue delivering on the calls to build capacity. And this was clear back in May. It was mentioned. We announced the appointment of 42 new justices of the peace. And that's on top of the 45 new justices of the peace in 2024. The turnover is significant, so the training is important. And so I don't even know how Chief Justice Nicholas does this. She attends every single swearing in of every single new JP and every single new Ontario Court judge. And you know, your commitment to building the team and to making things work is really very laudable. Thank you for spending your time that way. It's so important to all of us. So we've hired more Crown prosecutors, victim support staff, court staff across the province. It is the largest expansion of Ontario's justice system, and we're just getting started. But all of that, as was mentioned, is for naught if we do not have security. The safety and security of everyone who enters a courthouse is paramount for justice participants, for the public, for the judges, for the court staff, for the lawyers. You know, it's important that we're all protected. And we continue very important work in this area, and we will continue to engage with the municipal and First Nations police services, as well as the Ontario Provincial Police, to ensure that all court locations have the appropriate level of security. And in particular, I want to thank a few people in this regard. Commissioner Tom Carrique has been a leader in this regard, the Chief of NAN, Deputy Minister Di Tommaso, and Solicitor General Kersner. There are many more in there, but working in collaboration with the Chief Justice's teams, we've made some significant strides in the last little while, but there is more to come. Now, colleagues, access to justice isn't just about strong courts and the things that I've talked about. It's also about ensuring that everyone, no matter their income or circumstance, has the ability to be heard and represented. And that's why, under the leadership of Aileen Page, you know, you're doing such an amazing job. You know, we're transforming legal aid. It's why we took the historic action to support the expansion of legal aid eligibility by more than doubling it to an income threshold of $45,000. It used to be 19 for an individual. If you had one child, it was something, a two-child. This isn't about how many children you have. This is about the need for representation. So we just took it and we doubled it, and it'll allow us to serve 180,000 more people per year with that change. And so thank you for your leadership on that. It also is the largest single expansion in legal aid access in Ontario's history. And by expanding eligibility, we're not only improving fairness, but we're also strengthening efficiency, reducing the number of self-represented litigants, and ensuring that proceedings move more quickly. And that benefits everyone: lawyers, litigants, judges, and the justice system as a whole. That builds on the work we had done previously, securing a 3-year, 5% each year increase for duty counsel, investing an additional nearly $8 million in legal clinics last year alone, helping with lawyer retention and recruitment, implementing certificate payment changes to support lawyers who do this very, very important work. This isn't tinkering around the edges. This is transformation, as we've talked about in other areas. And we're strengthening Ontario's legal aid system to ensure it is more fair, accessible, and sustainable. But it's also about ensuring that the promise of equal access to justice is not just a principle. It has to be a reality. Now, our government will not sit back and let the status quo stand in the way of building a justice system that strengthens confidence in our institutions and ensures equal access to justice. As part of that commitment, we are delivering long overdue changes to juror compensation. Serving on a jury is one of the most important civic duties a Canadian can perform, and I know we can all agree that juries play a vital role in our justice system. And I, for one, am very grateful when ordinary citizens from all walks of life answer the call and participate in the judicial process. But let's face it, the current jury fee structure in Ontario has not changed since 1989. Another area our justice system has been neglected for decades. But that means if you're called for jury duty currently, and your employer won't pay for you during your absence, the first 10 days of a trial, you receive nothing. From day 11, you receive $40 a day. And it's not until day 50 that you're paid $100. So in some cases, people are not receiving any compensation for fulfilling their civic duty, all while making personal and economic sacrifices. But with the help of the excellent MAG team, many of whom are here, and Sam Poisson, who, every time we develop great talent, some other ministry steals them from me, so she's now deputy minister somewhere else. But with that is changing now. I'm pleased to share that as of October the 1st, 2025, we'll be increasing juror compensation to $120 per day for jurors who are not paid by their employers, starting on day 1 of their service. This long overdue reform will remove financial barriers, ease burdens on families, strengthen participation in one of our most vital aspects of democracy. Now, I'm going to move on to the Civil Rules Review. I'm not going to say a lot about it, except I cannot thank enough Alison Spiegel and Justice Boswell. They probably regret that they answered our call. They got over 200 submissions, very well thought out, very voluminous, over 2,000 pages. I've read every page of every submission myself, and the work that they have done is nothing short of remarkable. This is transformative. It's going to lead to change. As Chief Justice Morowitz said, fasten your seatbelts, because we'll do it. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it in an orderly way, but change needs to happen. Of those 202 submissions, there might have been one that liked the status quo, maybe. The others vociferously did not. So we've heard you, and we will move forward. Now, I feel it's important to end my address here today on another positive note and share an update on one of our government's more unique success stories. It demonstrates we can do things differently and we can achieve success when we're working together. Almost 5 years ago, we launched the Justice Centre model in Ontario. We stole it from Red Hook, New Jersey as a concept, and we started to move to it. And the way that I describe it is, if you could take all the social services and put them just outside this door in the courthouse so that you could deal with why somebody is there in addition to what they did. If you could do that, that would be wonderful. But we don't have room outside that door. So we have to take the machinery of the courts into the hub of where the social services are. And that way, we can engage people in a way that they've never been engaged before and meet them where they are. There is a proper responsibility consequence for what they did, but we can help them in making good decisions going forward. And I can tell you, in London alone, we just opened the expansion of the London Justice Centre. Beautiful facility, doing amazing work. It was the first one to open in Ontario. They've seen 2,400 cases related to young adults since 2020. And in 2023, most of those cases were completed in less than 15 weeks. And that's in coordination with, with the London police, who were getting disclosure out quickly, with all the social services, with the, Justice Harris Bentley, as our lead there, and the Chief Justice, the Associate Chief Justice, who we stole from London. It works. And Justice Harris Bentley said just a couple of days ago that the normal recidivism is about 30 to 40%. And we're seeing numbers with a good number to work from, 2,400, a recidivism rate of 11%. That's 900 people. Pretty phenomenal. Good stuff. So as you mentioned, more to come on that, but it is great news. It shows that we can all work together. We can do things differently. We can invest technology. And I cannot say enough about, this is actually my 7th opening of the courts. When I showed up at my first one, it was really the whipping of the Attorney General. And I thought it felt that way, but now I just take notes. But no, there are, my sincere thank you to all three of you for your willingness to work together. None of this progress would be possible without the three of you. We're each doing different things. We're landing just landmark justice, process and everything else that we've touched on. And we're really just getting started. We really are just getting started. Ontario is, without a doubt, leading the pace of change in this country, and we're being watched beyond our borders. And so I'm very proud to be part of it. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.